and looked at my story, looked at my journey prior to me hitting rock bottom in 2014. When I say rock bottom, I mean I didn't lose everything. We did get kicked out of our home. I lost all my income. So I was starting over fresh. And we were homeless for about 5 months. We still had family. We still had each other. We still had some energy there, but it was pretty rough. Prior to that, I struggled with alcohol for many years. I didn't know that I had a problem with alcohol. That was being discovered when I was in the Navy. I believe my first year into my first 4 years contract with the government by the United States Navy, while I was living on board the aircraft carrier, the USS Enterprise, assigned to the engineering department, 1985, 1989, 1993. I was sent to the hospital for psychiatric evaluation, and they had already told me that I had a problem with drinking and that I needed to stop drinking because I was going to ruin my liver. I was gambling, mainly rolling craps during those days. I wasn't in the casinos, but I was drinking very heavily, and I was using other types of drugs here and there. That was the mind pattern that I had going on. In life, you can stop, sometimes by yourself for a little period of time. If you don't have a plan, it all comes back like stretching a rubber band, and then you let it go and it snaps right back. It's like a boomerang, right? It goes around and then it comes right back if you don't stop that cycle. I had some difficulties during those years. I had a few relationships that I stained because I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to listen. I didn't understand that women are from Venus and men are from Mars or Saturn, one or the other. That's what happens when you have the wrong training. And it's really rough when you go through life thinking that you're doing things right, only to come 20, 30 years later to find out that you are on the wrong path. I don't think we're ever on the wrong path, but it's like, why do these things happen the way they do? I'm not too sure. God's grace is involved in all of that. What we go through, why we go through it, the difficulty, sometimes life sucks big time. But when you look back and you realize those are blessings, they're stepping stones for me to get stronger, gain wisdom. Because what I'm learning today and what I'm sharing today, what I'm teaching today are things that I have learned over the last few years. So I struggled. I did struggle with alcohol. In fact, there was many times where I got myself in trouble on the ship. I would come in hungover, and it was just really difficult to work. On some days I was hungover. A lot of days I was hungover. Poor decisions, a lot of money. For me, I've never, even though I was able to save money, I've always been a gambler at heart. Playing Russian roulette, maybe just roulette with life. Doesn't necessarily have to be Russian roulette, right? It could be United States roulette. Many people are playing with their lives, right? They're gambling this area or the other area. I did quit. I did manage to get a hold of a handle on alcoholism, on my drinking. I mean, I don't know how bad it really was, but I know that I can't remember a lot of the first 4 years in my military service. There's a lot of things that I don't remember because I partied. I partied just about every single day we went out. I don't recall. There was a few times that I might have been sober, but man, I was always drinking alcohol and cigarettes. That was my mix. One time I got so sick of the relationships that I was in. This was my first awakening of life and that I was going nowhere, and I felt so empty inside, and I was being hurt by women. I was hurting them and they were hurting me, but we weren't really conscious of what we were doing. And again, most people that are asleep, that are living in darkness, that don't have MMPC congruency today, or just an awareness, peripheral and internal awareness, consciousness. I left one afternoon after everybody went to work. I was living in Castro Valley at the time. I was dating a young girl. Remember, blonde hair, blue eyes, real thin girl. She was actually family to one of the guy, Rick. I'll say his name, Rick. Rick's sister, or Rick's brother was living there also. What was his name? Sid. He worked at Jiffy Lube. He was the manager. He drove a big 4x4 truck. Well, his girlfriend was there, Tracy, and Tracy's sister was kind of visiting. Anyways, we hit it off. But I had gone through a previous relationship in Hayward. That went really sour. I moved out of there. I left. I even left a car behind. I was so distraught during those times. That's when I ended up going to a church, a rehabilitation home for about 3 years. I think I was there 2.5 to 3 years. So I didn't do a lot during those years except for work for the church and work thrift stores and just do all these things. That was my first exposure to really reading the Bible and Bible studies and prayer, meditation type stuff. But it didn't stick with me hard enough. From there, I ended up leaving the program, and eventually that's where we started gambling more, going into casinos and just more money and hiding. And I've shared that in a previous video. I just wanted to add this in. I'm going to be sharing little bits and pieces of experiences that I've had. Maybe some of my travels, the ones that I can remember, my Navy travels. That's all I wanted to share with you. Thank you for hanging out. Be sure to become a part of this community, Soldier Scribed. Always leave me a thumbs up, a comment, a share. Share these videos with a friend. If you benefit from these videos, if you see what we're doing, if you feel my energy, if you really believe that people can be touched, young people. I mean, I have people reaching out to me as far as Ireland, as far as UK. I had a 10-year-old, I believe, or 11-year-old reach out to me in a video the other day. Can you help my dad? Can you help my dad? Wow. All right, my friends, soldiersofselfmastery.com. The link is below. I will see you at the top on the inside on my very next one. Making every day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top. And remember, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders, my friend. It takes courage for you to be you. It takes courage to follow me. Peace through strength, my friend. Soldiersofselfmastery.com.